People, what's going on? It's your boy Malcolm Miller. I want to talk to y'all about a show that I got put on that I'm hooked on right now, and that is The Walking Dead. So, as recently as about a week ago, my girl was on Facebook and she was asking everybody what shows that they suggest to watch on Netflix. So a lot of people suggested The Walking Dead. I always saw it up on the screen, always as an option to watch, the most popular show. That was the trend of it. Just started watching it. What was that? Not this past Sunday, Sunday before that, and I'm hooked on it, flat out. I'm gonna tell y'all, I know a show is written well when you care about whatever happens to every single character in the storyline. You care about their emotional state, how they're progressing throughout the story, what happens to them. You care about their backstory and all. And the show is written wonderfully, shot beautifully. And I'm gonna tell y'all, man, whoever do the special effects on these walkers or these zombies, that's what they call, like, salute to y'all, because this stuff look realistic. When they getting their head bashed in, beat in with a baseball bat or shot, it looks real to a T, period. And I'm like, man, this is some dope, what is special effects, whoever do the special effects, makeup, CGI or whatever, it's amazing. Also, I really like how they have these characters in the plot of the story, but they evolve over time. For example, the character of Daryl in the story, in the show. If y'all know who Daryl is, he's like a hillbilly type redneck guy that often his brother is very racist. His brother Merle very racist, and he seems to be an obnoxious type of character. Over time, over the seasons, he turns into a guy that's extremely likable. He shows his vulnerabilities. He shows that he cares about these individuals. He cares about what happens to each and every character. Like when he was looking for Sophia, that is Carol's daughter. He was so adamant in looking for her, and he was one of the most concerned besides Carol. He made it his mission to find her. And it showed how he progressed from this angry, just obnoxious guy to this guy that was vulnerable and that was sensitive and cared about others. So it really showed a different side of him. Also, you see the dynamic of how Shane, Lori, and Rick's relationship evolve over time. You see the jealousy, Brew and Shane, and you saw how over time the worst of his characteristics came out. Was it due to the apocalyptic type setting, or was it just something that was always instilled in Shane? Who knows? But I think it was just something that was always driven in him. And I said when the show began and he was talking to Rick and Rick was telling him about his personal life with his wife and how things were falling down here with Lori, his reaction and the stories that he told, I knew he was a little off. I'm like, nah, man, this dude, how he talking about the women and how he's talking about it, it's not adding up. He seemed a little shaky to me. But let's talk about how all these characters, man, I like when Dale. Man, me and my girl both said we became huge fans of the character Dale. Like Daryl was the most positive person on the show. When everybody seemed to stray away from humanity, he reeled everybody back in and made them think about things. Like, listen, let's think about this. Let's think this through. You all are acting irrationally, and we're not savages. He brought it back into perspective. I also want to say Lori is wrong. She dirty. I don't care what happens in a world where, you know, you lose everything, you lose your husband and everything is going, the world is going to SHIT, as they say. You don't sleep with your husband's best friend. That's off limits. Even if he did, you find you another guy to talk to, not his best friend. That's all wrong, period. But I want to talk about what's Carl's evolution, their son, how he goes from being just an adolescent youth that just loves and wants for his family and his father, wants his mother and father to be safe, and Sophia, and he grows into a character that's willing to take on these walkers head on. He's essentially growing into a man in this apocalyptic world where his whole world or childhood is just turned topsy-turvy, and he's forced to become a man and act as if he's Rick or his father to protect other people. You see that dynamic. When Dale died, it just hurt. It hurt me. It hurt me and my girl to the core, man. We like, oh my God, man. Not the most likable character. Like, this is crazy. T-Dog as well. When T-Dog died, I couldn't take it, man. and Laurie's death as well. It's just these scenes pull at your heartstrings, and that's how I know that this show is written well, because, like I said, you care about each and every character. Like, I'm not a guy that cries when I watch movies. I'm just not that guy. But it was some scenes in this Walking Dead over these seasons. I'm on season 3 right now, so I haven't seen a lot of what's to come out of the 7 seasons that are on Netflix. But when I see certain things, when I see certain people like die, like, man, I really was about to drop some tears, shed tears for these characters. That lets you know how well this is written and how well they put it together, man. And it's crazy, man. You always, this show depicts how people will act in a time of despair when the world is like essentially at its end, and how people will respond. And the way these people are responding is, man, like, you have to just commend it. You root for these characters because they all banded together. They don't even know each other. They didn't know each other from a piece of dirt. But they stuck together. They've been sticking together this whole time and pulling each other through all these tragic losses and keep fighting and keep being resilient. And that's the whole point of the story. Like, even when the world goes upside down, humanity, everybody got to keep that humanity and come together in a time of despair and keep being resilient. Like, it was the one scene where I think it was Herschel, and Rick was talking about how the world was going upside down and just things were just going crazy. He didn't know what to do, and that the world was essentially at its end. And he said, hold on, we've been dealing with epidemics in this world for forever. In America, in the world, period. We still fought back and made it through all these crazy epidemics, whether it be AIDS, whether it be smallpox, malaria, and the time with the Native Americans. And we always found a way to prevail. And that was the message, that you're going to prevail no matter what. Now, this movie has these jump scares that you see in a lot of the films, but it's just overall just great, man. If you never saw it, it's reminiscent of what Resident Evil, but it's much more, it grabs you much more, man, because of these people that's in here and how they band together. That's what makes the story so special, man. Everybody, if you ain't seen The Walking Dead, I suggest you check it out immediately. I'm going to give more updates about it as I progress in